Hi everyone, welcome to Lesson 4 Space Cat. So, the purpose of this lesson is to understand that in order to effectively analyze the rhetorical effect, that is, the impact of communication on an audience, it helps to have an easy to follow method of analysis. So, today you will learn about the Space Cat acronym as a method for explaining a piece's effect and impact on the audience. So as you watch this video, pay attention to the words in blue to guide your note-taking. Now here's the acronym Space Cat for you. We're building off of SOAPstone that we covered here in Unit 3. So S is for speaker, P, purpose, A, audience, C, context, E, exigence, C, choices, A, appeals, and T, tone. So again, when we're talking about speaker, we're thinking about who wrote this, produced this, presented this information, and then taking it one step further. What do we know about them? So basic characteristics of the speaker. Also, what don't we know about them? And does this text or piece have a particular meaning because of who wrote or said it? So, for example, we could have a president giving a speech, a citizen sending a tweet, or a newspaper staff writing an editorial as examples for speaker. P, purpose. So again, what is the speaker hoping to accomplish by putting this piece out into the world? Something to keep in mind is that the message itself does not necessarily equal the purpose. When we're talking about purpose, again, we're thinking, are they trying to inform, persuade, inspire, convince? The list goes on and on. So again, when we're talking about purpose, thinking about accomplish. A, audience. So two questions to keep in mind. Who was the actual audience of this text versus who was the intended audience? So is the actual audience the intended audience? What did the speaker assume about their audience? How does that impact what they say and how they say it? Again, are they using any specialized words, images to try to get their point across to the audience? So, our examples, we could have TV viewers watching a debate, specific readers of a newspaper, a crowd gathered at a rally. C, context. When we're talking about context, ask yourself what was going on in the world when this text was produced? So, the current events. What were the biggest issues on the speaker's mind, which they might be directly or indirectly addressing? How would this same text be received differently by a different audience or in a different time? So, for example, we have Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech. The context is that it was given during the time of the civil rights movement. So, in other words, what was going on in the world at the time of his speech. E, we have the exigence. Now, when we're thinking about that, we want to think immediate. So, why now for the speaker? Why are they choosing this time? What was the spark or catalyst that moved the speaker to act? Note that the context is happening all the time, but usually an event serves as the exigent, so the specific thing. So, for example, a congressman delivers a speech arguing that we need stricter gun control. The exigence is that the congressman believes stricter gun control will lead to less gun violence. C, choices. These are what you've been kind of studying all along. Now, this category of all the little moves authors make to enrich their writing. So, again, thinking author's craft, the choices they're making. Why does the writer make this choice? So again, a speechwriter, they might start with an anecdote, then move to describing a process of change, and end with a call to action, all while sprinkling along different choices in their writing. Again, we could use imagery, figurative language, alliteration. These are all choices that the author or creator has made. A, appeals. These are what you covered in lessons 1 through 3. Remember, we have the appeal to ethics or credibility, that's ethos, appeals to emotion, pathos, and appeals to logic or reason, logos. So, for example, bringing up your expertise with the topic, that shows your credibility or ethos. Telling a moving story, so again, playing into emotion or pathos. And stating facts or statistics, playing into logic or logos. T, tone. When we're thinking about tone again, we're referring to the speaker's attitude, and we might see some shifts. So, what is the attitude at different places throughout the piece? How can you tell or understand this is their attitude? Where is there a tone shift in the piece? So, for example, a religious eulogy may begin with a mournful tone, then move into a comforting or inspirational tone. When to use SpaceCat. Rhetorical analysis requires you to read and understand what matters about the text. That's space. And then comment on what specific features make it rich or effective. That is cat. Remember, don't panic when exploring a new or difficult text. SpaceCat will guide you into the unknown. Great job completing these notes. Now, make sure you ask a teacher for the SpaceCat practice. See you in the next lesson.